What happened, no one expected, because there were over 2,500 Hamas attackers in vehicles, Discus, RPGs. They overwhelmed every village. And literally, once they had overtaken a little town, there was zero resistance. So they took their time going into every home. And Chris, I saw the hit list. This was a detailed, long-term planning on who lived where, how many children, who the father worked for, if he was in the IDF, what aspect. This was a horrific terrorist attack that I hope Americans realize it can happen on our soil, and they better be prepared.
Yeah, what's your message to the United States?
Well, what happened here, the number one thing is they underestimated the enemy, and they live right there. We were at the border, we've seen it, but there's a complacency and an apathy can happen, or just a lack of planning. They underestimated the enemy. In America, think about it. We've had over 2 million people come through our borders, unchecked, can't track them. We know they're military-age men. I've been there. I've been in the Darien Gap where they come through, Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, all the way down to Colombia. I saw it. And we know that there are cells in America of hostiles, of terrorists who are planning to attack America in different ways. And the best that Americans can do is not think that somebody in the White House is going to save them, or even 911. That's not going to happen. They need to have a strong community. Make sure that you have redundancies and security, that if a truckload of guys decided to come to your home and rob you, what would you do? So that's why you see so many Americans fighting for their Second Amendment rights. And that's why you see people on the left trying to take them away. There's an intentionality to weaken Americans. And I'll tell you, even young men, this may sound weird to some, but there's a lack of testosterone in young men that keep them from being decisive or aggressive. Believe me, controlled aggression is what you need when you're fighting what we call the manifestation of evil.